It's July the 6th. Today, we're going to discuss immortality. Welcome back to Petroma Therapy.
Yeah, hello. I was kind of expecting you to continue, but is everything okay? How are you? What's going on?
Well, that's how life is. We expect it to continue. We wake up every day and we expect to go through our regular routine. We expect we're going to have coffee and breakfast, go do some work or do some errands, eat lunch, talk to a few people. But, not everybody makes it through every single day. There's a lot of accidents that happen. And in the mythology of Greece, they have this idea of the three graces, Graces. One of them spins the thread of life. I think one of them measures the thread of life, and one of them cuts the thread of life. So I've read a lot of books, and I'm not sure that they're going to help me to decide if there is life after this life. Not life after death, but life after life. What about you?
Oh, I guess I've mentioned to you before that not that I'm looking forward to death, but when it's natural, what's that chain of I don't know how to describe this when it's in a natural order, and death is serves like a doctor. But when it's something like a drive-by shooting, that terrifies me, and that has a demonic.
Yes, it seems unfair.
Yeah, but then again, immortality. We all want to be immortal, but. I don't know, imagine that you or me or anybody who wants to be immortal just found himself under the huge rubble of, I don't know, collapsed building, and there's no one to dig him up. So his immortality, how would that work?
Oh, you mean because a building, like in Turkey, they had huge earthquakes, or they're having earthquakes in California. I mean, if somebody died suddenly in a collapsed building, what would their last moments of life be like? Is that what you mean?
No, I mean, if you're immortal, and imagine that you've been in some kind of submarine that is lost, and you can't get out of it, and you always want to be immortal, right? Now you are, but you find yourself at the bottom of the ocean for the next 1,000 years, for instance. Wouldn't you wouldn't want to be immortal?
Well, actually, that's what I would really hate. Now, I believe that most of the stories about the afterlife have to do with a good situation or a blessed situation or a paradise or something. So for me to be trapped at the bottom of the ocean would not be immortality. See, immortality means the soul goes on. So whether or not we believe in heaven, hell, purgatory, reincarnation, those are variations of immortality. So some religions believe that the soul is reincarnated into a different being, and that it goes on and on and on. But my being as a human is very different as my being as a cat, or maybe my being as a tree. So personally, I would not like to be in a submarine ever, in this life or the next.
I kind of agree. So it depends on the kind of immortality we're talking about.
Well, there's been music written about it. My Dear Immortal. There have been books. There have been songs. There have been poems. It is a quest of human beings to explore the idea of immortality, and that's what we're doing here on Petroma Therapy. I remember, I don't know, maybe near the beginning of the pandemic, here in Dallas, some very beautiful museums there's a lot of money spent on art and opera and ballet and symphony. So there's a lot of money being spent on the arts. So sometimes very wealthy people will make a donation. They're the philanthropists. They give money for the good of humanity, for the inspiration of people's lives. So there's this one philanthropist, Nasher, Nasher, and Nasher endowed this beautiful museum that's called the Nasher Gallery, and it's the Nasher Gallery of Oriental Art. And it's a fabulous building. It has beautiful art in it. And I remember at the beginning of the pandemic, like suddenly finding out, oh, somebody I know in Houston died, or somebody I know that lived somewhere I often went to has been hospitalized. And I started to feel so anxious as I would find out randomly about people that were suddenly struck down. Like one guy he was just 35 years old and he was hospitalized. And then some other very, very, very Bishop Fiorenza, Bishop Risotto, these old bishops in Houston, like suddenly they were going to be taken away from me. I mean, I just started to feel so anxious. So then I was thought, well, let me just not read or hear about that. Let me just try to relax and just see what's going on in the art world, you know. So I click open something on my computer about the Nasher Gallery, and there was a young man who was running the gift shop. So you could buy prints, you could buy books, you know, you could buy all these beautiful things about, you know, Asian and Oriental art. And I was like shocked. He had gone out for a coffee break and just stepped off the edge of a curb. And there are some old trolley cars that have been, you know, repaired, and they're kind of nostalgic. You can jump on a trolley car and ride it around 8 or 9 blocks to sort of see what it's like to be back in the day. And he had stepped off of the curb holding his coffee and been hit and killed by a trolley car. So it wasn't the pandemic that got him. It wasn't him speeding on a freeway. It was going out for coffee. And how did that make me feel? Like, I don't want to joke and say fear of coffee, but like I started to wonder, like, if death was just waiting around any corner and was just going to totally surprise me.
It's like you say, surprise me. What's going to be surprise me? No, if I was given a choice, offered immortality, would I accept it? I don't know, probably on 2 or 3 conditions. Like first, I have to be at a certain age when that immortality, you know, kicks off. Then I think I would have like to have something like if I want to die, I die. Okay, it's not like I'm immortal. However, regardless if I want it or not. Yeah, and the third would be something like invincibility kind of shit, so that nobody would have chop my hand off, and I still be immortal and stuff, something like that. Yeah, 3 or 4 options I think would have come handy to that regard.
Do you think you can make?
What are your thoughts?
Do you think you can make that deal with God? You can say, "Okay, God, appreciate the offer of immortality. Just listen. Here's my conditions. I'm going to go ahead and let you make me immortal, but this is how I want it to be." And God has an assistant, you know, in Judeo-Christian religions, is called Saint Peter, has been considered to hold the keys to heaven, and he's kind of like the gatekeeper, and he's he's kind of sitting there at his desk looking at you, and you're saying, okay, St. Peter, these are my conditions. I'd like to get a counter offer from God, and I'm just going to sit here, and could you bring me like a drink? Because like I'm thirsty. But that's how you'd approach it, right? That's reasonable. Like, you don't want to just go into the next world with not knowing what's going on. Like, you wouldn't just go to on vacation and not know what's going to happen when you get off the plane. You would not go into a marriage not knowing what this person was like. You would not go into a college to teach or to be a student and not know anything about the college. So it's very reasonable for you to have these demands. And I feel that God is a just God. That's my personal idea. It could be he, it could be she. God, is just, and he's merciful, and he's forgiving, and he's just staring at you. And then he says, okay, Roman, we're going to do it like this. It's a blinking contest. Whoever blinks first loses.
Well, reincarnation comes to mind. I've come across a few books lately on reincarnation, on rebirth, and I've been reading about Buddhism, to be honest. Somehow, just I'm interested in it, and they have this idea that after dying you're reborn again, and but I'm not sure if it happens at the moment you die, or maybe it'll take like a few years until you're reborn. I don't know.
Okay, well, the idea of being born again, the purpose of it is for you to learn the lessons that you did not learn in your life as a man. So whatever you didn't learn, like you didn't learn how to be humble, you didn't learn how to be kind, you didn't learn how to be forgiving, you did not learn how to be generous, you're going to come back and repeat and see if you can get it right. So, I mean, I'm kind of a Zen Catholic, sort of like a Zen Catholic. I don't like the idea of coming back again and learning all the stuff I got wrong. To me, that would be awful. Now, some people are, like in Buddhism, the idea is to go around and round and round on the wheel. And once you've learned all the lessons and you've been reincarnated enough time, then you flip off the wheel into nirvana, which is perfect bliss. So that's kind of the idea of paradise, or, whatever. So I think that the idea of getting the opportunity to do the same mistakes and the same lessons again and again and again and again would be like horrible. It'd be like going to work every day and knowing that you were never ever going to leave that building. You just had to keep going back in, and you had to keep going back in, and you had to keep going back in. To me, this is just my take on it. Reincarnation, I don't want any part of it. I also, this is just my idea. I'm not blaming you or calling you a forking narcissist, but quite often people who don't have a hard time dealing with the lessons of this life, they go, well, I think I'm going to start reading books about Buddhism because I'm going to have lots of lives to figure this out. And then they just keep going on and on doing the same unhappy things. So, there are things that make us happy and things that don't make us happy as people. I'm also a kind of a working narcissist, but to me, the idea of immortality means that I will not be forgotten, that there will be someone who has memory of me. So I don't want more things. Like, I don't need a bigger house. I don't need a bigger car in the next world. I don't need, whatever. I don't want to be forgotten. And to be forgotten is to die.
So, did you say you're Zen Catholic? Sounds like the best possible karma you can get these days.
Well, I talked to a former Buddhist. He was a Vietnamese priest back in Houston. And it was at the Notre Dame parish, which had a large Vietnamese community in Houston. And I would say to him, how can it be if there's so many good people in many different religions? There's good Catholic, there's good Buddhist, there's good Italians, there's good Chinese, there's good Russians, there's good French people. How can there be all these people seeking God and sort of living a good life? How can there only be one true religion, which is what we learn as Catholics, that ours is the only way? And he was a young man, not really very old. He was maybe like 35. He leaned back. He was very wise for being young. And he said, well, there are many roads up the mountain. And after 1962, when the Vatican changed some of the rules of Catholicism in terms of worship, the Mass could be said in the language of the people. The priest was going to face the people. There, the Vatican II documents that came out of Vatican II, 1962, 63, one of them said that there is a place in my kingdom for anyone who seeks me with a pure heart. So you don't even have to find God. You don't even have to believe in God. You don't even have to be a good person. You just have to work on having a pure heart. And I thought that was a fabulous, fabulous answer. And he is someone who was he was a mathematician in Vietnam. He's a mathematician and very, very smart. And he converted to Catholicism. But it wasn't because he converted to Catholicism that impressed me. It's I've been a Catholic during my life. Sometimes I wasn't going to church. Sometimes I didn't believe. Sometimes I was annoyed. I have not really been a very good Catholic. But the idea that there are many roads up the mountain. So maybe you're going up the Buddhist road, and maybe someone else is going up the Taoist road, and someone else is going up the road of tree worship or something. And this idea that there is room in my kingdom for anyone who seeks with a pure heart. Wow.
Now, the wise people, the friend of yours you've just described, I always wonder where do they come from. And when I watched Alan Watts videos, he said there was an expression, or I don't know, a gimmick of some kind that because he said nobody knows then who says he knows, he doesn't know, but he who knows doesn't talk. And there was this saying, or I don't know, there was an old owl, like a bird, who sat on an oak, like a tree. And the more he said, the less he spoke. And the less he spoke, the more he heard. And but I can't help myself. I just talk all the time.
That's good. That's good. I also wanted to just make a brief announcement that I would like for my phone battery to be immortal, but it is actually kind of a little bit low on charge. So when I say, I think I need to leave now, I'm going to be going away. And then a little bit later, maybe in about an hour or two, we can continue this recording as, we can just splice it together as the same recording. But I like that wisdom of the owl. I like to talk. I'm really not a very good listener because I'm always thinking of what's the next thing I want to say. Are you a good listener?
Yeah, I'm all ears.
That's good. That's good. Yeah. Well, maybe we should go ahead and pause there because I think I have time to go. And then maybe we can record a little bit more later when I get my phone charger back and then splice it together. How does that sound?
That sounds great. Happy charging.
Okay, I'm not even going to ring the bell. Let's just flip it here.
Understood. Over and out.
Am I supposed to be ringing a bell? I think this is part 2 of Immortality. We decided to continue living, to continue broadcasting, and to sharing our wisdom with you, or our ignorance. They're pretty close. So, are you feeling alive still?
It doesn't ring any bell. There is an expression like, does that ring any bell when I want to tell you something and you don't remember or anything, and I would say, does that ring any bell?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
also there's a old song by the Bee Gees. John Travolta was in the movie, the song "Staying Alive."
Yeah, I know that one. I love it.
Yeah, it's really great. There's like so much energy in that show, and it's, the guy's a young guy and he's kind of trapped in a not so upwardly mobile economic area. And then when he goes out dancing, he feels alive and he has his buddies with him, and he's admired. And also in the same household, he lives with his, I think they're Italian immigrants into the United States in the story. And the old grandmother is there, and then the father is there, and the mother is there. But I know that part of staying alive has to do with, wow, I'm wondering why I'm whistling. It sounds like I'm whistling. Part of staying alive for me is in whatever my legacy or my progeny is. So I guess progeny means those that come after me that might remember me, maybe ways in which I've influenced my children. And then legacy just means the things I'll be remembered for. Like, I don't really know. I don't really know what I'll be remembered for.
You said while you're whistling, I thought that we can improve the introduction. Like you ring the bell, and then you whistle the whistle. And you also said that song "Staying Alive," and I thought that, do you know any song that starts with a bell or a whistle?
Yeah, Ring My Bell. We were recorded it several weeks ago. I think you forgot. We talked about the song "Ring My Bell."
You
Okay,
seem a
well,
little bit upset
yeah, I'm always
or
upset.
tired.
No, just
You
that you
feel.
can never remember what we did
Do,
3 weeks ago.
do you think it's what's better, like to feel anxiety and be like uptight and full of energy, or be like totally calm but a little bit upset and sad and discouraged?
Well, I prefer being sad and at home where the air conditioning is working and I have good things to eat and drink, and I've taken care of all my responsibilities and I don't have to do anything. So that's my goal, is just to get to the point in the day when I don't have to do anything and my time belongs to me.
But don't you get sad at night? Or because I generally feel happier in the morning. I don't know why. In the morning time, I'm totally okay, but in the
Yeah, me
evening and
too.
at night, you too? Yeah, because it's
Yes,
kind of energy.
actually, I know what your problem is, but it will cost you $1. You have to.
I don't have any problem.
Yeah, well, okay, that's part of your problem. No, what I'm
No,
saying is, I
no, I
learned
do.
I learned about 10 years ago about a medical diagnosis. Are you ready? Get your pencil out and write this down. SAD, seasonal affective disorder. And it hits a lot of people who live in really big cities and work in high rises, because when they go to work and get off the subway, it's dark. And when they leave for lunch, they're surrounded by huge buildings casting shadows. And then when they get back, when the day is finished, it's dark. And then they get into the subway, they go home and it's dark. and then they have to eat dinner and drink, and then they have to get back and do it again. But I didn't realize that seasonal affective disorder, affective, AFFECTIVE, seasonal affective disorder is a medical diagnosis. And when one of my daughters went to law school up in Manhattan, she was having a lot of problems. And well, I mean, she became a lawyer and is now living happily ever after, came back to Dallas where there's, she's living in anyhow, so seasonal affective disorder quite often affects people who work in, so just answer yes or no. Do you work in a tall building?
Oh, why
Yes.
why do you even ask? I mean, yeah,
No,
that.
I'm doing a diagnosis so that our listeners can also understand why they're messed up. Okay.
Do you know that you remind me of some people who diagnosis for everything? Maybe you are like, you're one of those.
No, I didn't. You were saying that you were sad, and I was remembering.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, seasonal affective disorder. Also, and when the time changes, when there's less daylight, I get more sad during October and November and December. But I loved that time of the year. I love being sad. I love going to cemeteries. I love eating pie. I like bourbon in my coffee. I like to think of all the relatives that have passed away. Like I actually am fond of being sad, but I don't have seasonal affective disorder. I'm just a writer and I like sad stuff. And I don't work in a high rise.
Yeah, I know what you're doing here. Just that sometimes I love messing with you and see how you would react. Maybe it's just me, but sometimes it's being stupid or sarcastic. I mean, when you pretend to be stupid, sometimes you just you appear to be serious, as we discussed it yesterday. But and you see the reaction people. I see how people react because they don't know. Yeah, they genuinely believe that you're stupid, but I mean, it's impossible because I don't know. I wouldn't have believed that somebody could say such and such, but apparently you either have some kind of hypnosis skill or I don't know.
No, I'm very. It's about the voice. The voice. The voice is what makes it happen.
Also the body language, but
yeah. And also if you kind of lean in.
Do you like leaning? Yeah, body language. Do you know? Sorry, say again.
Go ahead.
No, you said leaning in?
Yeah, if you are like at a high top table at a bar and a bunch of people are standing around, if you kind of lean in and say,
"Oh, that's what women do." Yeah.
Yeah, then all of a sudden the person thinks that like, wow, this person must be interested in me, or like this person must really know what they're doing, and
Oh no, I know. I know that I'm being manipulated. All that stuff that appeared to be over the edge,
so
to me at least. Innocent. I register that immediately. But maybe it's just me, and some people like it. They take it for the face value. But no, I immediately recognize that.
Well, once I
like
was
you move your upper body, but if you're a woman, you move your upper body towards the man. But because of the all this.
But also, if you're sitting on bar stools and your legs, if you put your legs, cross your legs back and forth, and kind of lean legs towards the guy, that's also very, very powerful move. Let's not.
Yeah, no. Let's not go into that. Let's talk about something like.
No, I want to talk about immortality. Okay, so
immorality.
Not immorality. That was a Freudian slip. Immorality was doing things that are naughty and bad against social rules. We're talking about living forever.
That's why we like it. Do you think there are difference? You said immorality, but I always thought that is called amoral, like immorality, like the name starts with an A, immorality.
Well, most people don't use the word amoral. They would just say, you're so immoral. Like most Americans would use the expression, that's very immoral. I can't believe she did that. Like, look at her dress. Like, when you're criticizing somebody for being dressed inappropriately, or somehow being rather seductive, you would say they're so immoral. I can't believe they did that.
But you say apolitical, atheist, apolitical, asexual, but then you can't say immoral?
You can say whatever you want.
Okay, maybe it's just me again. Let's go back to immortality, because
Yeah, well, I want to
we've
tell
already
about how I
discussed that.
almost got. I want to talk about how I got almost struck by lightning, and it made me feel really alive. So I live in an area that's up, kind of Lakewood is up higher on a hill, and it has lots and lots of trees, and there's a lake, and there's more trees, and telephone poles and trees. So lightning likes to hit high areas. So I was at this little place, and it was raining, and I just felt like going out. So I just went out, and I don't know, a band was playing, and some people were dancing, and some people were shooting pool. I just went onto the back patio, and then it started drizzling a little bit, and there is a cover on the back patio, but it's made out of tin, like a tin roof. That's also a kind of ice cream tin roof. But anyhow, so the rain was kind of coming through the roof, and some people were like, oh, we have to go inside. We're getting wet. Oh my gosh. We're getting wet. It's like, yeah, it's raining. But I just sat there, and everybody went inside. There might have been 20, 30 people on this back patio, talking or just drinking their beer or whatever. And I just sat on my chair, and I saw this guy sort of standing there. He said, well, why don't you go inside? I said, what if I don't want to go inside? What if I just want to sit out here? He goes, well, that might be fun. I go, well, what if we get struck by lightning? He goes, that would be really fun. And so then there was this loud crash sound, like it was thunder. And, the shorter the distance between the thunder claps, the closer the lightning is to you. So it was like thundering and lightning. And then, I don't know, he said, I'm going to go inside and get some more beers. What do you want? I said, I don't know, just get me a Dos Equis. So we went inside, got some beers, and came back out. Then he came running out to the back patio. He goes, holy shit, the police are here. The police were doing a raid on the bar to be sure that no one was smoking any weed, and to be sure that there were nobody underage. And then he goes like, what if we get arrested? I said, well, I don't know. Like, we're over 21, and we're drinking beer, so there's no reason to get arrested. But it was just really this kind of neat moment of really feeling alive. And, I could have been hit by lightning. I don't know. It felt good to be just sitting on a chair out in the rain. It wasn't pouring.
No, see how I have degraded for the past 10 years. Because you say lightning, I immediately think of these cables that Apple uses, like lightning versus USB Type-C and pros and cons. Yeah. And then I only understand that you're talking about like a force of nature, lightning. Because I almost got killed by a lightning cable once, and I thought that's what you.
How did that make you feel? How did that happen? No.
Exclusive. No. Energized. Because I think that was, I don't know what the power standard in the US, because in Europe we used 220 volts. Yeah. Yeah, and you were probably 110, or I don't know, I don't remember. I don't understand electricity. Also, that's I'm using thing. Yeah, but do you have Apple? Like iPad or iPhone, or I don't know what it is you use in the US.
I have a Android cell phone.
Yeah, because that's why you don't have to use Apple lightning cables. Good for you, but they suck. They very expensive, and they get damaged a lot and very easily. That's why. But
what happens is the big cables and routers and things that are up on the telephone pole wires get blasted outside of the apartment building. So it's not in my phone that things are getting messed up. It's up on the hills. So we lose power all the time, and we have tornadoes, and there's a lot of dramatic weather in Dallas. It's a very exciting and dangerous place to be.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it is. It is. Well, I want to switch back to the topic of immortality a little bit
Yes.
more to
Hmm.
talk about how doctors and research scientists have extended our life. And if you think back to the time of your grandmother or great grandparents, maybe they ate more healthy food, maybe they worked hard on the land, maybe they were more physically active, because we can become rather lazy with our cars and all of our modern devices and escalators and elevators, where back in the day people used to climb stairs. But you know, um, about 100 years ago, medical schools trained their doctors. The doctors would just sit in a lecture hall, and this medical students would learn by listening to a lecture. But only more recently was modern medicine invented, which means that doctors are going to be trained. Instead of just sitting there taking tests, they would go around and see patients, and they would do rounds, and they would have little seminars to discuss their patients. And I read this little article. It said that to be a great physician, you have to have a clear head and a kind heart. And they were also talking about how by the year 2020, medical knowledge will have doubled approximately every 4 months. So this was an article that I was reading from 2011. So we've already passed 2020. They were saying that by the year 2020, medical knowledge will have doubled approximately every 4 months. So there's more and more knowledge and research and medicine to keep us alive longer. We could be living a really long time. How does that make you feel?
10 years ago, I'd be like, fuck yeah, okay, just give me that juice or whatever. No, I'm like, nah, I just, man, I want to go to Mars or like the parallel universe, whatever it is. Just that whoever just created this illusion of, I don't know, just sucks. But then again, maybe it's just me at now, because tomorrow I may think different.
Yeah,
I
because
bet you
remember,
different.
you have seasonal affective disorder. I mean, or I'm a morning person too. I feel energetic in the morning. I have a lot of ideas. I do a lot of writing. I like to create art. I don't know. I feel great in the morning, and then I like to rest in the afternoon. And then maybe late at night I might wake up again. But like once it starts to get dark, I keep thinking like, God, what did I do today? Did I even do anything? And then I begin to think like, well, what's in my bank account? I look at my bank account. It's like, holy God, I need to get more money. And then I keep
Yeah,
thinking like, have I?
speaking. Sorry to interrupt, because I may
Yeah.
forget. Speaking of bank account, not that I'm asking you for bank details or something. I was gonna say that you said that people will be like doctors. I don't know. Will be immortal in a few decades, or we should have been by 2020. But I meant you. I mean, you have probably read about that rich people, because only rich people have lots of a lot of money in bank accounts will be able to afford it, right? And most of them are already idiots.
Yeah, wealthy people, like it sucks to be poor. It's also starting to suck to be middle class. So,
So
you know,
where it doesn't suck, and you mean rich people? It doesn't suck to be rich, right?
no, it doesn't. Especially if you have a really good car, you can
What's
afford
with the
mixed
car? I mean,
drinks.
do you like the car? I mean, what's with the car? I mean, you say the black Jaguar,
It,
say, oh, I wanna like drive with this
no,
man, or
because
you say the car.
no, because Texas is a big piece of land. Okay, also Russia is a big piece of land. And we are very proud of our freeways, and we love to burn up gas, and we have a lot of oil and gas and cattle and cotton, and like we're
Tesla
Texas.
becomes
And
more popular. You don't have to burn gas.
so I like burning gas.
Well,
No,
you
I'm
will
just
not
saying,
be allowed to, like in the near future, because Tesla is taking over the market, and also there will be like tax deductions and stuff. So
well, if you're rich, you don't need tech. I mean, I just know that I like to just pull up to a pump and just pump my own gas. But when I was visiting in Portland, Oregon, you are not allowed to pump your own gas. They have little
Oh,
men that
that
come
sucks. Because
and
I like
pump your
how
gas.
gasoline smells. Do you like how the gasoline smells? You probably like call it gas, but I mean benzene.
Well, I just know I have a lot of stories about gasoline. Like, well,
Didn't you
well,
like smell it before? I mean, it
yeah,
smells so
I've
good,
smelled.
right?
I'm
I mean,
like,
I wonder
well,
why
I
does the
just
gasoline smell so good? Almost
and also
perfume.
like cut grass, like when you mow the lawn and the grass smell. Like the best thing in the world is like gassing up your car and going on a road trip and taking food and drinks with you and going someplace and seeing something. It's like a great adventure. And Texans are very proud of the land. And like they don't really care about being efficient. They don't really, for the most part, don't care about saving money. Like, this is Texas. Let's just like whoop it up. So the Texas attitude is over the top. It is wasteful, and we were our own republic for a while. We're like only just humoring Washington D.C. by staying a state, but I don't know. A lot of politicians go to New York, go to D.C. out of Texas, and I don't know. I mean, gasoline to me means like it's a road trip. It's
Yeah,
a road
but you
trip.
probably mean the vehicle exhaust. What I mean is that the gasoline from the canister. I don't. I'm not like
From a mechanic's hair? Gasoline is in a mechanic's hair? What did you say?
in a canister. Canister.
Oh, we don't call
What
it a
mechanic hair?
canister.
How could you? I mean, why would I smell a mechanic hair? But then
I
again, if
couldn't
it was a
understand.
perfume, could have made a perfume out of gasoline, and that somebody like perfume it. It
Well,
stays
the
longer in
thing
the hair.
is, I didn't know you said the word canister.
Yeah.
In American English, canister is something you put flour in the kitchen. What you mean is a
Really? But
gallon.
how do you
Yeah.
call it? Yeah.
Well, we would say like
How do you call that iron thing or made of aluminum where you put the gasoline?
well, I don't know. We call it a gas can.
Gas can?
But for the most part,
Yeah.
we have plastic ones, big plastic ones.
Oh, you can't transport gasoline in plastic ones because it's first of all it's not safe. The plastic
Well, we
may
do it here. I don't know if it's plastic, but it's some big red thing that's got
yeah
like
it's
a gas
plastic.
cap.
It's probably plastic, but stay safe. Stay away from the plastic gas cans. But the can is short for canister. Didn't you know that?
Well, I was just waiting for you to bring it up. No, I
Yeah.
didn't really know that, but I know that vegetables come
Like
in cans.
yeah, could you give me a second because there is somebody who apparently either wants to talk to you or to me at the front door. Just hold on for a minute, okay? I'll just be back.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay, apologies. The person just disappeared. I mean, okay, just
There's
I don't
probably
know what
just
happened.
someone just bringing your medication to the door.
Maybe it's my eyes. Yeah, maybe I don't know what to believe anymore. Maybe I don't have to believe my eyes. I can't believe my eyes. Sometimes I see things and which they are not there.
No, it's true. It is. We've talked about this in other episodes. Like I'll suddenly like look out of my peripheral vision, and it seems like a little shadow passed by. But I'm at home by myself. There's no one here, and or like something will drop in another room. Or well, I mean, I have some extra curtains up because it's super hot, so I have the window with some extra curtains. And I heard something drop, and I kept thinking like, well, who's in the other room? Like, how did they get in there? But
Yeah.
it was just a rod that I had an extra curtain on that fell down. But like, why did it just fall down? Like, what made it fall down? I'm
I don't
thinking
know.
poltergeist. I've also been
The
thinking.
years. Yeah,
I've
no.
also been thinking about doppelganger. Today our friend Lydia Annalie Bleth, who is in Ulm, Germany, put a post up about in the MeWe community about how her husband had passed away about a year or so ago. His name is Paul, and she shared this with other people. And she just posted today that a friend said that they thought they saw Paul walking in this park. And then Lydia told the friend that she must be wrong. Then Lydia wrote that she did see the person, the same height, the same body expressions, and walk. And she said she got so scared thinking that it was her deceased husband come back or his twin or something that she ran into a little shop and just was panic stricken. And I read that this morning and I put my comments about what I thought it was. And I invited a couple other people like Tony Carnes, Mark Stevens, Mr. X, a few other people, Martin Fierro. Like, what do they think it was? To me, I thought it was maybe a doppelganger, which means a double of her husband. And my take on it was that her husband was trying to communicate with her that he's okay and he just misses her and loves her. But I haven't checked back in to see what other people said, but she was afraid of this, apparently someone that looked or acted just like her husband. But I don't know if she saw him from the front or just saw him from the side.
Yeah, that's because, as we discussed before, we all wear masks. Some metaphorically speaking, or maybe not. I feel like I have multiple personalities, basically, shown to different people, like, just to fit in. I'm a social chameleon, I think.
Yeah. And the chameleons can change.
How can you help me? Because I'm completely different from every single person. I'm getting anxiety out of it.
You're
yeah,
addicted
it's to the point
adrenaline.
where I get anxiety.
Well, I mean, also, it's kind of exciting being a chameleon because, like, you can switch to be whatever you want. Like,
no, it's not because I mean it feels like
no,
absolutely nobody even knows who the real me is. I don't know what I am anymore. It's not exciting at all.
Okay,
but it sounds great, like social chameleon.
Well, but the thing is, like, I'm a purposeful chameleon, and I'm also a sober chameleon. So if I'm going into an art, if I'm going into an art gallery, then I take on this one persona. And if I'm going into some place just to meet up with some people and do some just random stuff, I'm a little bit more casual. But it's, you probably need to choose a couple of who you want to be and stick with those. Yeah, it must be hard. It must be difficult.
Yeah, but I don't want to be anybody. I just I may play different roles at different times at work, but I don't want to be anybody. I want to be nobody. Does that make any sense? Again, that's a metaphysics is deep, but that's what makes it attractive.
It is. Well, I think I had written something, or maybe we had talked a few years ago, how I love the idea of traveling and then you wake up in a different city as if you live there. And you just start walking around and doing things as if you live there. Instead of being a tourist, you're just there. And you said, you thought that was kind of cool. So I like to do that.
It's called teleportation. I think if in the future we'll be able to teleport, like instead of using a car, they somehow use your molecules and they transport them from one place to another. And I think if you transport it by molecules, I mean, you wouldn't be the same man that you were before transportation, because I don't know, some molecules.
It undergoes a chemical or electronic shift. I mean, when I had like a 45-day rail pass all over Europe when I was in graduate school, that meant I would go far up into like Sweden and Stockholm, and I saw the House of Strindberg and Ibsen, and then all the way down into Sicily and crisscross back and forth the Netherlands. And, you could just wake up any morning in a different city, like, Aix-en-Provence is where Van Gogh was hospitalized and finally shot himself in a cornfield with a bunch of crows around. I don't know, just thinking like I'm walking on the same streets that Van Gogh walked on, or like I'm walking by a house that Paul Gauguin used to live in, or I don't know. I mean, I have got to experience in the real world some of that like teletransport stuff. But I actually flew on an airplane from Houston to Manhattan to New York, and then took out of LaGuardia into Paris, and then had the 45-day U-Rail pass. So
you say cornfield, I think of a horror movie. See the
which one was
association
that?
here.
Which
I don't
horror
know, just
movie?
a horror movie, any horror movie. I have no specifics in mind, but somehow cornfield is associated with a horror movie.
Yeah, I think it's called the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
No, is there a cornfield in it? I haven't seen it. And
Yeah, it's in Texas. We got corn, we got wheat, we got
you
cotton.
got massacre? No,
We-
everybody had massacres
we-
these days, but
Yeah, I mean, we have guns, and this one's about a chainsaw. I mean, you like chainsaws.
guns are not dangerous. Neither is chainsaw. It's people who keep them, who hold them, are dangerous. That's the
That's
the
another
principal
episode.
point.
That's
Then,
another
no,
episode.
you don't like guns. You don't have to talk about that.
No,
Because
I
if you
will
were a
talk about.
gun enthusiast, no, you don't
No,
like. You hate them. You're afraid of guns.
I
You're
am
not
not
a gun
afraid of.
enthusiast.
I have a lot of people that I have known that have shot themselves. So it's very painful for me to talk about how cool guns are. I know a lot of people that have shot themselves.
I don't know. I mean,
I've also known
I've known
somebody
lots of
that.
people drink themselves to death, but
Well, that's more
m-
fun. It's not so bloody. Well, on
I don't know
another.
about fun.
No, I don't know. I mean, drinking is a problem. Drinking is a problem. As they say, it's a slow death. But you just there's another expression: choose your poison. Like
Yeah,
I
I know
I
that.
went to this really really great bar. I had to go meet somebody who I didn't much care for to deliver some art, and I was late, and he left early, and so I was standing there, and there was all these people at this really high end bar in downtown Dallas, and I thought, well, let me just have a drink. So I just wandered over to the bar. And then these ridiculously wealthy guys were standing there like, well, hey there, what's your poison? And then I answered some really sarcastic, bitchy comment. And they go, can we buy you a drink? I go, yeah. So you know what I drank? I drank a Moscow Mule.
Or White Russian, or Moscow
yeah,
Mule.
I like both of those. But I don't know, what were we talking about? Massacre, blood.
Immortality. Yeah,
Oh,
because
immortality.
yeah, it's easier to believe in immortality if you just consume like White Russian and Bloody Mary and also like Moscow Mule.
No, it is. It's really great because there was a piano bar there. It was called the Library Club inside the Melrose, which is an old fancy hotel in Dallas that's been taken over by the Hilton or Warwick or something. But it has ballrooms that are beautiful and like skylights and like stained glass and real carpets, and so it's kind of like old world elegance, but it has like new money in it. And I don't know, there was some piano player, some guy was playing a piano, and the woman was a chanteuse from Brazil or something. Like it was like being in a movie. So I felt like I felt like I was alive.
Do
Briefly.
you? I mean, yeah, okay.
Is it Friday yet? What day is it? It's
No,
Thursday.
by the way, I genuinely thought it's Friday. Well, it's
It
not.
feels like Friday.
Yeah, because I don't know, it was a Thursday at where I'm at, and I genuinely confused Friday and Thursday because I was rushing into the office. I got things to do in Friday morning, but then I halfway through, it hit me. It's fucking Thursday, and I thought,
Well,
damn, I'm probably go crazy.
yes, you did go crazy.
Hey, could you just hold on a second? Just give me a minute, because I'm gonna see who that was.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was told there is someone to see me, but then again, when I was out, there wasn't. Hold on.
Well, while we're waiting for him to return, I am going to talk about an interesting drink called the Paper Plane. It's made with Maker's Mark, and it is 1.5 ounces of whiskey, 1.5 ounces of Aperol, 1.5 ounces of Amaro Nonino, 1.5 fresh lemon juice, and a lemon twist for garnish. You combine the Amaro, Aperol, whiskey, and lemon juice. Fill the cocktail shaker with ice, shake it until the outside is frosty, and then strain it into 2 glasses. And there you're going to have a drink called the Paper Plane. And this will supposedly take you to another level. So I thought I'd just throw that out there while we're waiting for someone to come to the door. And I'm also looking at something else I wanted to talk about in this episode. I know that when people go to a funeral or to a wake, which is like a celebration of life, there's different prayers and there's different songs and different things that people try to console themselves with. But this was from a reading from my uncle who passed away several years ago, where sorrow and pain are no more, neither sighing but life everlasting. Then the leader of the ceremony would say something, and then the people would read along, with their little, brochure. You are only immortal, the creator and maker of mankind. We are mortal, formed of the earth, and to earth we shall return. For so you did.
Are you still there?
I am in the middle of reading a prayer. I have given our listeners a discussion of how to make a paper plane. It's a really exciting drink made with whiskey and Amaro. And now I'm talking about a prayer about immortality. So I'm going to go ahead and just continue with this little prayer. This was from a pamphlet that was given out when my uncle passed away. There's different readings that people talk about, like living and dying. But the prayer is, you are only immortal, the creator and maker of all mankind. We are mortal, formed of this earth, and to earth we shall return. For so you did ordain when you created me, saying, you are dust, and to dust you shall return. All of us go down to the dust. And even in the grave we sing of rising. Amen. So who was at the door?
Amen. Well, I'm afraid to make you feel jealous, because
you're going to make me jealous.
No, I'm afraid you'd get jealous if I told you who that was.
Yeah, don't tell me. I prefer not to know.
Yeah,
don't tell me.
So speaking of prayers, I really respect those religions, texts, and we call prayers in any religion, because I do believe there is an invisible world. Yes, but I can't explain that.
Well, maybe we don't have to explain it. We just keep believing or thinking or trying or whatever. So right now it is still morning time in Dallas. I have the whole day before me. It's 10 minutes after 10. What time is it there?
10:10.
10:10.
It's 600 in the morning.
600.
In the evening, sorry, PM. 0600. That wouldn't be 0600. That is 1800. No, 1600. Yes. You know what 1600 means? Like 6 p.m. Was it 16? 15. 4.
No, it's 4 o'clock.
No, 16. What goes?
No,
what's next? 5 o'clock. 15, and then what? 16, right? 8. What comes after 5?
6.
6. Yeah. 6 p.m. 1600. It's a military standard, because in military they don't say 6 p.m. They say 16.
Oh, 900 hours, yes.
Yeah, 900. 900 would be in the morning because there is only one 900. But 2100 would be in the evening at the same time, 9 p.m. Yeah,
Well,
just watching too much Netflix.
yeah.
That's why I know that military stuff.
Well,
Do you like
this.
military movies?
Do I like military movies? My life was a military movie. I grew up in a military family. No, I like, A Few Good Men. I like, there's there's so many military movies that are really, really great. Like, we have to do another whole episode on that. Well, I think we're ready to wrap it up. What about you?
No,
We're not ready. You're not ready. Okay, well then, I just want to say what a coincidence this is. I flipped open this book I have of little souvenirs and knickknacks, and I saw this recipe for the paper plane cocktail. Then I also saw this brochure from my uncle's funeral, and I didn't realize that his funeral was July the 25th, 2014. So that would have been, several years ago. But
did you say paper plane?
Yeah, paper plane is the name of this specific cocktail.
Oh, because I thought when I was a kid, we kind of made this paper planes out of a sheet of paper, and
oh, I love those.
Me too.
I really like them. They're so much fun.
Me too. Yeah, I still do them when nobody's watching.
Really? You can still do that. There's a lot of things you can do when no one's watching.
I know. There are lots of things I do, but it's just one of those.
Well, you know what? There's another really great saying that I like. I don't know if I thought it up or if somebody else did, but it's you are who you are when no one's looking at you. You are what you do when no one is looking at you. You are what you do when no one is looking at you.
And
no,
I like
Go ahead.
No, I like the one, something about the dance when no one's watching, like dance like no one's watching, something like that. I don't remember now verbatim. Because when you're alone or like you're in a good mood and there is no one around and you want to dance, you dance like crazy, like there is no tomorrow. And they say that's a good thing, like dance like no one's watching, even when you're surrounded by people.
Well,
do you
that...
I mean, what do you do? Like, is there something weird that you do when no one's watching?
I record episodes of trauma therapy. No. I remember you shared a couple weeks ago this film clip from the Mosquito Coast, and there's this guy inviting this woman to dance, and she's kind of a little bit shy, and the music is just really great, and it's a nice little YouTube clip, and they're just kind of dancing and just kind of feeling alive and being alive. It was really good. I like that music. It was very refreshing, and I know.
Yeah, I think I've even left a comment saying that they interrupted the scene with some kind of another scene, but they should have just leave the whole dance untouched, because that was a real good shot. Yeah, I like the Mosquito Coast. I mean, I think they shot it, but maybe they discontinued. I don't remember. Maybe they still film it. But the last thing I saw was like South Park, the season, and also Succession. I guess we discussed that with you. 2 TV shows. Succession. Yeah, you said you liked it, no? Wasn't you? Succession. They just finished the show, the 5th episode, I guess. I don't remember. That's a really, really good one about the what a news mogul. How do you call those people? Like Warren Buffett.
Mogul.
And his family. Mogul, yeah. And his family and the relations inside and dynamics, and I really like that. If you have a pen nearby, just write it down, Succession, and see
I
if
already
you
wrote
can.
it down and I had a pencil.
Yeah, but Mosquito Coast Dance was something. I liked it really,
Yeah.
really very much.
Yeah. I even shared that with someone. This person said, "Where did you get that song from?" It's
Oh,
from the Russian.
the song was what was the song? I don't remember the name from the 60s in the US.
Well, I like the All Along the Watchtower.
No, not on the Watchtower, but what was the song?
From Mosquito Coast?
Yeah, the song they danced.
Yeah, well, it's so about like, Hector was the first one.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
Hector was the first one to kill or something like that.
And he was the first one to do time, and he was the first one to go. And
Did you
I
know
haven't.
that song before?
No, I didn't, and I also didn't know the movie.
The
But I
movie,
mean,
okay, because
maybe
it's kind of new, but the song it comes from the 60s or 70s or 80s. I don't know. I thought you should definitely know that.
no, I didn't know that song. I was busy. Was busy
I
doing
really
this.
love that. Really love that.
Yeah,
Um,
it's good. It's good. I might actually be dancing right now.
uh-huh. They say that in New York. Uh-huh. When you say to someone from New York, they say uh-huh. Uh-huh. You notice that?
Well,
You ever notice that? Because there is dialect in New York and
in New York, I don't know.
well,
Well, they don't have a lot of time for people. They're in a hurry.
city people.
Yeah, city
City,
people,
not shitty.
city,
City.
shitty city people. But
Well, they come into
well,
Texas, all of
oh yeah,
them.
they
Because
did. Oh heck,
yeah,
heck yeah. There's land here. They're all coming here from
yeah, absolutely.
California. They're coming here from Saudi Arabia. They're coming here from
Hmm.
Chicago, from New York. Especially lawyers and tech people and business startups and people that have money and big liquor cabinets and cars. In New
But
York, just to park a car, you have to rent the space. It doesn't just come with your apartment. In Texas, you can just park 3, 4, 5 cars on your property because this is Texas.
yeah, but I currently don't live in Texas, and I say currently because what if, right? You never know. Would you recommend moving to Texas, or is it
I thought you were
overcrowded
going to
already?
move. No, before the pandemic, you said you might move to Texas.
Yeah, but now I think there are too many people coming. So I thought, what if I probably should have chosen New Mexico? It's just as large.
Yeah. No, I love it. It's not just as large. Texas is huge.
So is New Mexico.
No, it's not.
Well, I should have just.
Okay.
I don't have a
No,
map in
no,
front of me, but
no.
I'm absolutely positive.
I like New Mexico. I like the desert. I like the dry air, and also Michael's there with his restaurant, or maybe he's a tour guide at restaurants. We don't really know what he does, but Michael has revealed, he's one of our subscribers, he has revealed that one of the secrets to his marital success is that his wife works during the day and he works at night.
Well, that's because of a heat wave. Like in Spain, they don't work at day because the life starts at night in the summer.
I agree. I agree. And it's hot in Texas, so I've been up searching for my cell phone charger, and then I am going to maybe sleep when it's really, really hot. And tonight's Thursday, so they have Thirsty Thursday at this one bar I know of. Thirsty Thursday. So it can be like Friday night, but it's Thursday.
What does Thirsty Thursday actually mean?
Thirsty means you want to drink.
Like
THIRST.
the water, or some beer or whiskey,
Yeah,
or
it's
what
Thirsty
exactly?
Thursday. You want beer, you want gin, you want vodka, you want a vodka tonic, you want a cranberry vodka, you want like a I
You know
don't
what
know
I
what do
think?
you
I think that all these restaurants they just marketing their stuff and they have a name for each day of the week, like Thirsty Thursday and Friday Friday. I don't know. I
Yeah,
don't remember.
no,
You
it's
told me about
true.
happy
No,
hour.
they
Or was
just
it just to sell their merchandise?
no, it's true. They've just started something new about 3 or 4 weeks ago. Like nobody goes out on a Tuesday night. Tuesday night sucks. Okay, Tuesday night sucks. So, this one place I just started, Acoustic Tuesday. So
Yeah.
this bar has live music from 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. So Friday and Saturday night, people go out, 10, 11, 12, midnight, 1 o'clock. People come there after other places. So that makes sense, Friday and Saturday night. Some just got the idea the days are long, it's hot, people want to go out at night. Let's invent Acoustic Thursday. So that means the band starts at about 9 o'clock. It's just one guy on a acoustic guitar, not electric guitars. And I went a couple nights. That place is packed because it's hot and everyone's been at the swimming pool all day, and people are ready to spend money, and they're buying beers and they're buying shots for each other. And the guy that's playing up on the stage is, man, the first one I went to, people were throwing money up on the stage because Ryan Berg was there, not only with his guitar, but he had his drummer and his bass player with him. His bass player is Nick Snyder and his drummer is Mayo Valdez. There was like so much money on the floor. It was great. It was exciting, throwing money at musicians on a Tuesday night. Did I throw any money there? No. I said, Maya, you want me to pick up your money for you? He goes, no, leave it down there. I don't know what you're going to do with it.
Yeah, you can
But,
pick them up and throw second time.
yeah, no, they have a tip jar, but everyone was pretty excited, and this Mayo plays also for Charlie Crockett, and they opened for Willie Nelson last year at the 4th of July. So people were expecting to see a Ryan Berg just with his acoustic guitar, but he also showed up with a couple of his other musicians, and people were just so thrilled to be able to listen to their music and to buy drinks for the musicians, and the musicians get it's Acoustic Tuesday, and tonight is Thirsty Thursday.
Yeah, this world we live in, this world needs another flood, I think. Yeah.
Flood? Oh yeah, well we have the
great flood.
You mean to like wash off all the bad people? We're just going to have two and two, like an elephant couple and a possum couple and a giraffe couple and a couple of monkeys. What if you were chosen to be the one man with the one woman to go on Noah's Ark? There was only one woman with you.
There was only one woman on Noah's Ark. I did not know that. There was only real one woman.
No, these are Bible stories. I'm saying, what if?
But how many women? Now I'm interested. How many women did Noah have?
Well, he had Mrs. Noah with him.
And
that's all he reported. But he also had these animals coming up 2 by 2, so 2 llama and 2 monkeys and 2 porcupines. But I think Noah was kind of clever. He might have snuck in a couple other women and kept them down some other parts of the boat. Men can be very sneaky too.
No, I'm thinking.
I don't know. I wasn't even thinking.
If I were Noah and I had this ark and Mrs. Noah also, and all these giraffes and lions and animals you just mentioned, what would I do? Like, would I want to have, because it doesn't seem credible. I mean, I'm not that, God forbid, I'm not trying to say blasphemy and stuff, but one woman.
No, but as a metaphorical story, the idea is that there were people in Sodom and Gomorrah who were living immoral lives. And so God decided, well, let's just, he tried to forgive them and tried to forgive them and tried to forgive them. And then finally just decided, like, it had it, let's just like flood the earth and let's just save a few. And we're just going to start over again. and this idea of the ark. Supposedly, the ark landed on Mount Ararat, which is in northeastern Turkey. Mount Ararat or Mount
Yeah,
Arat.
but Sodom and Gomorrah, were they also in Turkey?
I don't think so. I think they were down like near Tigris Euphrates or something. But I just know the idea that people have been bad and maybe we should just get rid of them is an idea that humans wrote the stories of the Bible. Supposedly they
Yeah, I
are
know.
inspired by God, but the humans looking around like, I mean, don't you know some people that should just be like washed away from the face of the earth? I know some.
It's like when we had the lockdown and pandemic stuff. Um, I thought when it's over. I mean, now it's over, but at the time it wasn't. We just shouldn't tell some people that it's over.
Right. Right.
So that just stay away from our offices or I don't know any public places.
Yeah,
Just
stay home. Yeah, or
yeah.
somebody invites you to do something you don't want to go. Just like, oh, I heard everybody's we're still wearing masks there. Like, heard there was a death in the kitchen. Like, oh, okay. But
Anybody
yeah, I don't
wears
know.
masks at your place?
Masks.
Yeah,
Well,
anybody wearing masks?
the
No.
the
Well, it's
dentists, when they're leaning into your face, wear a mask, and also where else do they wear? Oh, like the people that are handling all the food at the grocery stores. Some of them, like they're opening up boxes and boxes and boxes of tomatoes and avocados and bananas and stuff like that. They're handling the food. They'll wear gloves and they'll have a mask on. But I think they did that anyhow before the pandemic.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Many
There's different.
people, I think many people felt like more comfortable with the mask on. And I see people wearing masks again. I thought maybe there's not pandemic. I've just missed out on some kind of news. So I asked you if
Well,
there's something going on at your place.
well, the thing is, like, I used to wear contact lenses. Like, I can see up close fine, like 4, 5, 6 feet away. But if it's lenses like 20 feet away, like across the street or trying to read street signs at night, I need to have glasses on. So I used to have contact lenses, but I got tired of those and just decided to not do that and just wear glasses. So putting a mask on and you're breathing with the mask, your glasses are getting fogged up. So I have a greater chance of like falling and dying because my eyeglasses are fogged up and I'm wearing a mask than I do just like walking around without a mask. So I mean, I have a couple masks in my car, but they don't fit. Or when you go into the doctor's office, you're supposed to wear a mask going in. It just says wearing a mask suggested. So if you're going to go in for an exam, the doctor's wearing a mask, the assistant is wearing a mask, and then your mask is optional. But these are like huge research hospitals where they get funded for,
Yeah.
not killing you.
Yeah, I hear you. I can really like relate to this. Yeah.
To wearing a mask or not wearing a mask?
Both, a little bit of both.
Huh.
Can you, yeah, do you think it's impossible to relate to two opposite things?
Oh no. That I think
No,
that
what?
instead of saying either or, you say yes and. Like we're
Yeah,
trained to think
that's
either or, but I heard this several years ago from another therapist. Both and. It's the one that was in Holy Trinity. She's like, I say, well, I really like this person. They're driving me crazy. And then she said, let's rephrase that. I like this person and they're driving me crazy. And I choose to stay in this relationship. It's like, wow, that's deep. Yeah, it doesn't have to be either or. Like, I like to wear a mask and I don't like to wear a mask, or I feel good in a mask and I don't feel good in a mask.
Yeah, you can have either donut or the muffin for breakfast.
I want the donut. I want the muffin. I want I want it all. I want it all. It's very hard for me to choose. They have these display cases with all these things you can choose. Like I just stand there and stare at it all, and have like an anxiety attack. Literally, just I can buy whatever donut I want. Like what
Yeah,
should
same
I?
happens to me, but only the Turkish delight thing. Like
Oh
Turkish have
yes,
lots of
yeah.
sweets, and we have small shops in Moscow where you can buy that. And when I like in front of it, I really like paralysis analysis or what it's called. I don't know, but I want to
Yes.
try everything. But it's physically impossible. I think we don't have much donuts or many donut shops here. But still, donut is a donut. Like this donut or that donut, not too many. But Turkish
Well,
delights or Turkish are
oh
like
yes, the Turkish
innumerable.
delight. Some of it is made with rose water. It's light pink and it's rolled in sugar, powdered sugar. Some of it's made with pistachio in it. Like it's called lokum, lokum in Turkish. The Turkish delight. Yeah, I really like that. Wow, now I want to
Too.
get some of
Me
that.
too. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna get going too.
No, wait a
Maybe
minute.
I'll buy.
I'm finding the song. Hang on a second. Just think of
Uh,
something else to talk about for like 2 more
right.
minutes.
What song do you find?
The Mosquito Coast. I'm turning it
Oh,
on.
the
Hector was his name.
Hector. Yeah.
Okay, so we've been talking about immortality and immorality, and my computer is saying just a moment, and I'm getting really anxious waiting for this moment. It's a very long moment. My laptop is loading. Did you ever notice when you're waiting for a microwave to finish, it seems like it takes forever?
Oh, I don't have a microwave. I used to, but then somehow it disappears out of circulation. I don't see much microwave these days.
I did not allow, when they first came out, I didn't allow one in my place because I thought if those waves can go through and like fry stuff, they could do something to my daughter's brains. And they could do, and like cell phones, you put them in your pocket, all those it could cause sterility in men. I have all these ideas, very strange ideas, but I've never used a microwave and I don't have a microwave. And I believe that microwaves are the work of the devil.
Well, at least now you know it's not.
Oh, it is. It is because I didn't have a microwave in my house. And that's why my daughters got into medical school and law school. It has to do with the microwave. No microwave theory. Well, I don't know. I mean, maybe that's not the only reason. But they studied hard and got good grades and stuff like that. But now my laptop is telling me welcome. Okay, it's loaded. Now it's welcoming me. I don't want to be welcomed. I just want to play the song. It's being like so annoying. If I switch to my phone will be faster because my phone. But I don't know. I bet I can do this on my phone faster. Mosquito Coast dance song, dance scene. Yeah, it's much faster. My laptop is still just being just completely annoying.
That soundtracks always made me anxious because you see the movie, you like the music, and you buy a soundtrack. And
can you hear it?
No.
Okay, well, let's just keep talking. My phone is now just being annoying.
Your phone is now what?
No, I had the song on, but you said you couldn't hear it.
No, but that's strange.
Why can't you hear it?
Because you don't have it on.
I do have it on.
I don't know. Maybe it's out of range for your microphone.
It is the microphone. It's my phone.
I don't hear it. Maybe it's my ears.
You don't hear it now because I don't have it on.
There are so many like options. the reasons I couldn't get to hear it.
Okay, well, so right now I've opened up my laptop and it has brought me to Petroma therapy, and I don't want to hear that. Sure, don't want to hear that. Mosquito. Gosh.
Okay.
Hey, yeah, let's just say goodbye and we'll go shoot ourselves, okay?
Let's say goodbye and wrap it up.
Okay, Mosquito Coast Dance Secrets. Dance.
Hey, I need to go and sit in the dark, if you know what I mean, and have left
Okay,
right.
this is the name of the song it's written by Morrissey, the first of the gang to die.
Yeah,
So you're
that's
gonna
it.
go to the dark.
But I thought it named with Hector or something, but no, it's first of the
That's the
gang to
name of the
die.
song. First of the gang to die.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So you're now going to the dark, and I'm now turning off I don't know, the volume doesn't work either. Oh, here's the volume. Okay, you're going to the dark. Okay, it's very quiet.
I'll use it. That'll be my music for sitting in the dark today. Yeah, now I hear that. Yeah, this will be the music I mean for sitting in the dark.